For those who have purchased Command Post Games Battle of Bull Run, this is the soon-to-become available second Battle of Bull Run. All you need to do is buy the pieces for this scenario. It's August 29th, 1862. General Pope has brought Stonewall Jackson to ground around Sudley Mountain. He now is desperately trying to race up his reinforcements as soon as possible to put to paid his boast to beg Stonewall Jackson. Let's see how it goes. Turn 1. John Porter's 5th Corps races up from Manassas Junction. Front sigils. Army of Virginia 1st Corps moves out. And coming down the Warrenton Turnpike is Heintzelman's Army of Potomac 3rd Corps. And now we have McDowell's Army of Virginia 3rd Corps coming out of Manassas Junction. General Reynolds' Reserve Division is also part of that corps and will move on Groveton. Pope will also activate with McDowell as he begins moving his artillery towards Stony Ridge and bringing reinforcements down the Warrenton Turnpike. Jackson sends Stuart's cavalry out to find and delay the Union reinforcements. Simultaneously, Stuart is sent north of Bull Run with cavalry and a small detachment. It's now mid-morning. McDowell's 3rd Corps continues up the road. Encountering the dust clouds stirred up by the cavalry, they come out of road column. John Porter continues up the road. Sigil opens an assault on Jackson's men. Jackson's troops fall back, and his artillery opens up. The lead elements tumble back. Heintzelman hears reports of secesh north of Bull Run. Crap, this isn't good. Though desperately needed for the assault on Sudley Mountain, he has to investigate. Stuart appears on a hilltop. And down south, the cavalry continue to delay the Union reinforcements. Reno's corps appears. It's now late morning of the 29th. Sigil's 1st Corps falls back and awaits reinforcements. Jackson breathes a sigh of relief. At long last, Longstreet has appeared on his right flank. He recovers his position and forms up with Longstreet's corps. Heintzelman presses forward. Stuart holds. The cavalry in the south covers both roads. Porter shows up to reinforce Sigil. McDowell's corps busies the cavalry. And Pope activates and brings up artillery and supplies. And he sets up his artillery on the hill behind Stony Ridge. First the cavalry, where it's been contacted. In the north, the cavalry are destroyed. In the south, they fall back after having bloodied the Union troops. And now it's about noon on the first day. McDowell continues to press forward. Pope moves his artillery up to Buck Hill, brings the last of his baggage forward, which he intends to place on Henry Hill. Jackson sets guards around his artillery. Porter brings his corps forward. Having lost his cavalry, Stuart falls back towards Bull Run. Meanwhile, in the south, Hampton's cavalry holds on again. Lee and Longstreet begin to deploy in numbers. Porter attacks the artillery on the north side of Sudley Mountain. Heintzelman continues the push forward. And here, north of Sudley Mountain, Sigil's corps drives forward. Again, we have the cavalry in the south. Union troops are driven back. In the north, Heintzelman's drive. That plucky Confederate detachment does some damage and falls back. Sigil's attack south of Bull Run. A.P. Hill's men are driven back, and now the bloody assault on the artillery. It was bloody, but the artillery was pulled back. It's now early afternoon. And above Bull Run, Heintzelman falls heavily on the small detachment. Reno's corps moves up. Longstreet and Lee decide to open this battle up. John Porter, the Lion of Second Bull Run, presses hard. And Pope unpacks bags. Sigil, ever the busy man, rallies his corps and sends Schenck's division forward. Jackson's detachment slinks back as A.P. Hill's corps spins around like a wounded animal. G.H. Hill's corps responds to the flank attack. Cavalry recovers. Now combat. Here in the north. The last of A.P. Hill's corps is destroyed. The drive on the artillery. The Union is driven back by the Southern grape. Drive here in the center. Skirmishers are driven back. Porter's corps has been driven back on all fronts. As across Stony Ridge, the Union artillery is being assaulted. The Union artillery is driven off the hill, but with heavy losses, the South are not able to follow up. And finally, here in Groveton, with difficulty, the Yankees are driven out. And now it's late afternoon. Jesse Reno's corps makes it into the line. Jackson reorganizes his line and pushes back. Longstreet drives hard on Chin Ridge. Heintzelman finally crosses Bull Run. McDowell presses forward and orders Reynolds to hold tight on Chin Ridge. Pope brings up his artillery and fires on Stony Ridge from Buck Hill, driving the Southerners off. John Porter falls back. Sigil pulls back his shattered division on the right, and with his two fresh divisions, drives hard into the southern flank. The cavalry in the south. They bloody McDowell's nose and fall back. Reynolds' division facing another charge on Chin's Ridge from the south. He is driven back. And now the flank attack on the southern advance. The Confederates are driven off at a heavy cost. It's early evening. Sigil's men are exhausted and he's not going to ask them to attack again. Heintzelman advances forward but holds his position short of the Confederate lines. Jackson unpacks bags and rallies his whole line. The cavalry recovers. John Porter recovers his troops, brings them back towards Bags. Reno forms up his line. McDowell consolidates his corps. Pope deploys artillery. Longstreet orders another drive into the Union line. The Yankees are pushed off Stony Ridge. Union grape throws back the Confederates. And here in the southern tip of Chin Ridge, it's a desperate battle, but the South is left in possession of the ridge. The sun is setting. The day's festivities are coming to an end. John Porter rallies his corps. Pope activates, unpacks his bags. McDowell rallies who he can. Elements Reno's corps try to protect the bags. Jackson shores up his defenses for the night. Heintzelman sets Hooker's division back to rest and refit. Sigil rallies his corps. It's now the night turn. Reno's corps recovers its strength. McDowell rallies Reynolds' corps. Heintzelman rallies Hooker's corps. On the first night turn, Lee wishes not to fight an offensive battle and pulls his Longstreet's corps back through the Manassas Gap. This the Confederate player must do. Now on day 2, as long as he keeps Longstreet, never activates him, behind the Manassas Gap, all Jackson has to do is somehow live through the day and the Confederates win. If on the second day, at some point, the Confederate player activates Longstreet's corps and brings them back through the gap, then normal victory conditions are in play. In this instance, I'm sure Longstreet will be coming back because the Union has not exhausted itself trying to wipe out Jackson. They will try again tomorrow. They may exhaust themselves entirely without getting through. And they'll win if Lee doesn't panic and send Longstreet to the gap. Can't wait to see how day 2 plays out. Now on tomorrow's turn, Pope has unpacked 2 bags. If the South can capture them, they win there. Lee has unpacked 1 bag, Jackson's bags. The North is going to try very desperately to reach those bags.
Hey, let me know what you think of this scenario in the comments below.